Welcome back to online classes, Unit 2 Water Chemistry. In Lecture 2, I am going to cover estimation of hardness of water by EDTA method, numerical problems. Estimation of hardness of water by EDTA method involves principle, preparation of reagents, experimental procedure and calculation. Let us discuss one by one. Principle. It is a complexometric titration which involves EDTA as a complexing agent. As you can see, the structure of EDTA, but it is actually the structure of disodium salt of EDTA. When EDTA is expanded ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, but for better solubility of EDTA in water, we take disodium salt of EDTA. This EDTA forms 1:1 stable complexes with calcium plus 2 and magnesium plus 2 ions at suitable pH. And the complex form, you can see that metal EDTA, whereas in place of M, either you can substitute calcium plus 2 or magnesium plus 2. And in this titration, we use EBT as an indicator. EBT can be expanded as areochrome black tea, which is an example of metal ion indicator, and the structure can be represented as this. And as it is a complexometric titration, during the course of the titration some complexes are formed, therefore the colors also be changed. So that I want to show you how actually the colors are changes. First, we take hard water sample which is buffered to pH 10 using a buffer solution, followed by few drops of EBT is added. Then that water sample turns to wine red color, and that is titrated again as EDTA solution till the color changes to blue. But you can see the first colorless solution after the addition of this buffer solution EBT turns to wine red, and when upon titration finally it changes to blue. So this is the actual changes we can see during the course of titration, but as a chemist we should look at what are the chemical reaction taking place during the course of the titration. So let us look at that. See, when we take hot water sample, we all know that hardness is caused by the calcium and magnesium salt, so that you can see the calcium plus 2 and magnesium plus 2 ions are present in water sample. This water sample is buffered to pH 10. Which is done by using a buffer solution such as ammonium hydroxide and ammonium chloride, followed by 1 or 2 drops of EBT indicator is added. Then the solution turns to wine red color, which is due to the formation of calcium EBT or magnesium EBT complex, which is unstable in nature. And here I would like to mention one point, that we take a known volume of water sample which is buffered to pH 10, followed by 1 or 2 drops of EBT indicators added. So then one thing is certain, when we take more amount of water and only small amount of, or you can say few drops of EBT indicator, all the metal ions like calcium plus 2, all the calcium plus 2 and magnesium plus 2 ions which are present in water may not be complexed with EBT, because EBT will be limited in number. Therefore, in that whole solution, besides calcium EBT and magnesium EBT complex, free calcium plus 2 and magnesium plus 2 ions are also present. When this whole solution is titrated against EDTA, first EDTA combines with free calcium plus 2 and magnesium plus 2 ions which are present in water. So calcium EDTA and magnesium EDTA complex is formed, which can be represented as MEDTA, where M is nothing but either calcium plus 2 or magnesium plus 2. When all free calcium plus 2 and magnesium plus 2 ions are complexed with EDTA, the further added EDTA displaces EBT from calcium EBT or magnesium EBT complex. Therefore, the winded color finally changes to blue, that is due to the displacement of EBT from calcium EBT or magnesium EBT complex. Coming to the preparation of the reagents, we need to prepare a primary standard odd water, EDTA solution, buffer solution and EBT indicator. So in order to prepare them, the requisite amount of the required chemicals can be added and accordingly the solutions can be prepared. I'm sharing you the notes, you please go through that, you can understand it. I don't want to spend much time on this preparation of the reagents. The next part is the experimental procedure. So the experimental procedure involves standardization of EDTA, determination of total hardness, determination of permanent hardness and determination of temporary hardness. So let us discuss the first one, standardization of EDTA solution. First we take, in order to standardize EDTA solution, first of all we have to take standard hard water sample with a known value. To that, a buffer solution whose pH is 10 added, followed by 1 or 2 drops of EBT indicator is added. Then the solution turns to wine red colored complex, which is unstable in nature, which is titrated against EDTA solution taken in the burette till the color changes to blue, which is due to the displacement of EBT at the end. Now the volume of EDTA consumed be V1 ml. Similarly, for the determination of total hardness, just the experimental procedure under standardization remains same, but for with small change that instead of standard hard water we take a test sample whose hardness is to be determined. To that same sample with a known volume add buffer solution and add EBT indicator, that turns to wine red, again titrate. Now the EDTA has been standardized in standardization step. So just you do the titration against the same EDTA solution you have taken previously and do the titration till the color changes to blue. This time the volume of EDTA consumed be V2 ml. Now the third one, determination of permanent hardness. So we all know that the total hardness is the temporary and permanent hardness. When we determine total hardness is equal to permanent hardness plus temporary hardness. Here if we can determine the permanent hardness, we can determine the temporary hardness directly, but let us see how do we determine the permanent hardness. We all know, or we studied when we discussed the temporary and permanent hardness, just we studied that the temporary hardness can be removed by boiling. So the hard water sample, when you, for example, say 1 liter of hard water sample you have, just you boil it till it becomes 1/5 of its volume. It means that if you take 1 liter, you should boil it in such a way that it becomes 250 ml. So then what whole bicarbonates of calcium or magnesium which causes temporary hardness are converted to their calcium carbonates or magnesium hydroxide, which are nothing but precipitates. You filter them up, you collect the filtrate and again using distilled water make up to the mark and make it to 1 liter. From that you take around the same known volume, how many ml we have taken in the previous step, and again do the same procedure, add buffer solution followed by EBT, solution turns to wine red, and do the titration again with the same EDTA solution till the color changes to blue. This time you assume the volume of EDTA consumed be V3 ml. By this time we would be able to calculate the total hardness as well as permanent hardness, but for temporary hardness, as I've already told you, total is equal to permanent plus temporary. So if you know total and permanent, you can calculate temporary hardness. But now let us see that how do we do the calculations. So first let us start with the standardization of EDTA. In the experimental procedure, the first step which we perform is standardization of EDTA. How do we standardize that? So for this standardization purpose, I have told you that we take a standard odd water with a known value. So let us assume for our purpose we have taken 25 ml of standard water which consumed V1 ml of EDTA. Therefore 25 ml of standard odd water is equal to V1 ml of EDTA. But here the standard odd water means the water with the known hardness. So here we generally prepare by dissolving 1 gram of calcium carbonate in small quantity of HCl, and which is made up to 1 liter. So 1 gram means 1000 mg, which is dissolved in 1 liter. So 1000 milligrams dissolved in 1 liter. So 1000 mg per liter, which means 1000 ppm, or you can say 1000 milligrams of calcium carbonate dissolved in 1000 ml. So 1 ml of water contains 1 milligram of calcium carbonate. Therefore 25 into, in place of 1 ml of standard odd water, we can substitute 1 milligram of calcium carbonate, which is equal to V1 ml of EDTA. Now you just equate to 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 25 by V1 milligrams of calcium carbonate. So then total hardness. So here instead of the standard odd water sample, you take the test water sample. So here also you need to take the same value of the test water sample as you have taken in case of standard odd water. So let us say that 25 ml, which is equal to V2 ml of EDTA, where V2 into 25 by V1 mg of calcium carbonate I have taken. Because here in the standardization part I come to know that 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 25 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate. Therefore 1 ml of test water sample is equal to V2 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate. For when I have 1 ml, when I have the test water sample for 1 ml, which is equal to V2 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate, if it is for 1000 ml, then what will be that? So 1000 into V2 by V1 ppm equivalents of calcium carbonate. Therefore total hardness is equal to 1000 into V2 by V1 ppm equivalents of calcium carbonate. So the same way we calculate permanent hardness. Now this time we have boiled the water and we have filtered it, and then we have made up to 1 liter. From that 1 liter we have taken 25 ml of boiled water sample. So which is equal to V3 ml of EDTA. So where again V3 into, we have to substitute 1 ml of EDTA. So into 25 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate. Therefore 1 ml of boiled water sample is equal to V3 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate. So permanent hardness is equal to 1000 into V3 by V1 ppm equivalents of calcium carbonate. Now temporary hardness, which is temporary hardness is equal to total hardness minus permanent hardness. If you can put that 1000 into V2 by V1, which is equal to total, minus 1000 into V3 by V1, which is equal to permanent hardness. Therefore 1000 into V2 by V1 minus V3 by V1 ppm equivalents of calcium carbonate. So that will give you the temporary hardness of water sample. So followed by this, it would be better if we can work out one numerical problem. So this is the problem. So here the standard odd water sample was prepared by dissolving 15 grams of calcium carbonate per 1 liter of water, and 20 ml of that standard odd water required 25 ml of EDTA solution. 100 ml of water sample required 18 ml of standard EDTA solution. 100 ml of the sample after boiling required 12 ml of same EDTA solution. Then we have to calculate the temporary and permanent hardness of the sample. So we can make use of the same calculation which we have discussed just now in the previous slides. So the first thing, the preparation of the primary or you can say standard odd water. 1 liter or 1000 ml of standard odd water is equal to 15 grams or 15,000 milligrams of calcium carbonate, because 15 grams of calcium carbonate dissolved in 1 liter of water. So where 15 grams is equal to 15,000 milligrams of calcium carbonate. Therefore 1 ml of standard odd water is equal to 15,000 by 1000 milligrams of calcium carbonate, which is equal to 15 milligrams of calcium carbonate. So 1 ml of standard odd water is equal to 15 milligrams of calcium carbonate. So now standardization of EDTA solution. So during the standardization of EDTA solution, we need to know that how much amount of EDTA solution was consumed for known volume of standard hard water taken. Here in this problem, 20 ml of standard hard water required 25 ml of EDTA. Therefore, 20 ml of standard hard water is equal to V1. In place of V1, we have 25. But 20 into, do we know 1 ml of standard hard water is equal to? Yes, we know that is 15 milligrams of calcium carbonate. So, 20 into 15 milligrams of calcium carbonate is equal to 25 ml of EDTA. So now 20 into 15 that is equal to 300 by 25 milligrams of calcium carbonate is equal to 1 ml of EDTA. Because if you can rearrange this expression, so you will get it for 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 300 by 20 milligrams of calcium carbonate. Therefore, 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 12 milligram of calcium carbonate. Now, total hardness, we have taken 100 ml of the test water sample for which 18 ml of EDTA was consumed. Therefore, 18 into 12. Why we have taken 12 milligrams of calcium carbonate here? Because in the previous step we have calculated, or we have come to know that 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 12 milligrams of calcium carbonate. Therefore, 18 into 12 milligram of calcium carbonate will give you 216 milligram of calcium carbonate, which is for 100 ml of test water sample will have 216 milligrams of calcium carbonates equivalents. I mean milligrams of calcium carbonate. But for we calculate it for 1000 ml or per 1 liter, so that 2160 ppm equivalents of calcium carbonate is present. Now permanent hardness. So the same 100 ml of the water sample, but we have taken, but it is after boiling. So V3 ml of EDTA, but here in our case V3 is nothing but 12 ml. So 12 into 1 ml of EDTA. So there again you substitute 12 mg of calcium carbonate, so that you will get 144 mg of calcium carbonate. But for 100 ml of boiled water sample, you will get 1440 ppm equivalents of calcium carbonate. And the same way you can calculate temporary hardness. Temporary hardness is equal to total hardness minus permanent hardness. Therefore, 2160 minus 1440 will give you 720 equivalents of calcium carbonate. Thank you for watching this video.